Hey everybody, it's Benny One and I'm back at you with another movie review, everybody. And today I'm gonna start off a review series for the Mummy movies, everybody. That's right. I'm gonna review and rewatch The Mummy, Mummy Returns, The Mummy 3, which I think is something Tomb of the Dragon or whatever. I can't even remember what it's called. The first Scorpion King movie will be included in this because it was theatrically released and it's tied into the Mummy trilogy somewhat. The other spin-off Mummy or the Scorpion King movies, I'm not going to put in this because they were not released in theaters. They were direct to DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. So I'm not going to rewatch those. And then I will also add in the newest, I think it was the 2017 Mummy movie with Tom Cruise, which kind of a reboot version of this movie we're going to talk about today. So today we are reviewing 1999's The Mummy, everybody. That's right. I went to the movie theater and I think I watched this movie like about 5 or 6 times. I went to the movie theater that summer. We got, I'm pretty sure it was episode 1 came out for sure. I went and saw that, this, and the second Austin Powers movie. They all came out in May and June that summer. And I spent a lot of time at the movie theater watching all 3 of those movies. Like, I think I watched each of them like 5 or 6 times easily. So, as you can tell, I'm actually kind of a big fan of the Mummy series, to tell you the truth, especially the first 2 movies. This first one, though, whew, what a great movie. What an awesome action adventure movie about the Mummy, everybody. So this is directed by Stephen Sommers, everyone. And of course, our cast, which I think is a just fantastic cast. And rewatching this, it's been a while since I've watched these. It's been a few years. And the cast is just great in this movie. You have Brendan Fraser playing Rick O'Connell. He's awesome in this movie. Because here's the thing, this movie is basically kind of like, they take that mummy mythology that has been going on in movies since like the black and white era days, the classic days of the monster movies, and they take that mythology and it grows and they keep existing stuff and they kind of mash it together with like an Indiana Jones style of adventure movie. Like, and Brendan Fraser is obviously our big action hero in this movie. But the thing is this movie doesn't like copy Indiana Jones. It has that Indiana Jones feel to it, but it's its own movie and it's its own adventure. And like Brendan Fraser wouldn't work out in Indiana Jones as Rick O'Connell playing, Indiana Jones, but in this franchise, he is like perfect as this action hero in this franchise and in this movie because he can be funny, he can be kind of quirky at times, but he can do the action with the guns and the fighting and, racing on freaking horses and and camels. He fits in perfectly with this type of movie that they were going for because this movie does have humor. It has horror elements to it. And then it's got the action, the adventure part, the treasure searching type stuff. That's kind of where it falls in line with the Indiana Jones stuff. But then you get that mummy lore and the horror and all that stuff. And you mix that crap all together. And this first movie just handles it so well. And it's like a perfect mixture of all of those genres and story elements and everything that they just turned out really well in this movie. So yeah, Brendan Fraser, great in this movie. It's probably one of my favorite characters that he's ever portrayed in his movies, to tell you the truth. So, and then Rachel Weisz, everybody, plays Evelyn, or Evie as she's called for short in the movie, and she is the love interest for our main action hero. And her and Rick's relationship in this movie is so funny at first because she busts him out of prison because he lays a kiss on her and he knows the way to Hamanaptra, where they need to go to do this dig site and everything, where they eventually run into the mummy, everybody, Emotep. And they build this relationship from a very rocky, unstable point where they almost, like, Rick almost pokes at her and bothers her, but she eventually learns to like him and she actually falls in love with him throughout the movie. So great chemistry between those two. Let's see, Arnold Vosloo, he plays Emotep, and he's great as our main villain, Emotep, the mummy that is in this. And you know what? The special effects, it was 1999, but I will say they don't look too bad in this movie. They really don't, because they use a lot of practical effects. Like when you first see Emotep pop out of his sarcophagus, when they open it at first, it's a total real prop and everything, but then when he comes to life, it's the CGI animation stuff, which it's 1999, so it does not look like stuff looks today, but it actually looked pretty good. I actually think that the CG that was used in this first movie, because I just finished watching the second one yesterday, and I think the CGI looks better in this one. And the second one came out in 2001. That's one thing I noticed is like they used more CGI and I feel like it didn't look as good. But it didn't look too bad in this movie. It really didn't, because they have to do a lot of CGI sand effects with Emotep because of his powers, because he's kind of like a god in a way. He has all these powers and stuff. So, and then we got John Hannah, everybody. He plays Jonathan. He plays Evie's brother. He is the comedy relief in the movie. He's the quirky, weird dude that's on the adventure, that's not into fighting. He's not an action hero, but he always stumbles into things and stumbles his way out of things. He's that character in this trilogy, and he's entertaining. And then Oded Fur, he plays Ardith Bay, everyone. He is the Magi character that is protecting Hamunaptra from people waking Emotep, the mummy, like his group of people dating all the way back to Egyptian times. Like he's an ancestor of these people that are protecting this so that he doesn't get woken up. And obviously he gets woken up, everybody. So because they accidentally wake Emotep up, and then they have to basically figure out how to get him back to like being dead and shit. So the movie's it's fun. It's a fun action adventure, like mummy horror movie. It's a very entertaining movie. It's not the best made movie with the story and the pace. The pacing's actually not too bad in this first movie. The movie's not even 2 hours long, which I think is perfect for this type of movie. Like that's the thing, is sometimes movies like this, they try to make them bigger and epic, and the runtime becomes too long, and it really affects the way the story pans out and everything. So I think the runtime benefited the story and everything, and I would say the pacing's pretty damn good in it. Now, like I said, it's not a perfect ass movie, but I think overall, from rewatching it again, I still enjoy it just as much as I did back when it came out, and when I rewatched it last. All the times I rewatch it, I think it's entertaining. Great cast, lots of action, lots of funny moments. So I'm going to give The Mummy, I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I really enjoy it. It's a very entertaining movie. So a 9 out of 10 for The Mummy, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you for watching, and I'll be catching you on the tube later because I have spoken.